we are back talking about this week's superhero time stuff we watched.
Yep. And as I was saying, like during our little mini pre-podcast meeting, I'm so glad that we are talking about the shows in the order where it's like the newer show goes first and then the show that's already been going on goes second. Because oh
No,
man.
that's what I was telling you, because other than like this specifically like the episode premiere, which is when we're gonna have a lot to say for the new show, just because obviously it's the premiere. This is where we get to see if there's like, the payoff to whatever stuff they've been talking about in the marketing and stuff. Other than that, I feel like we're always just gonna have longer strands of the show that's ending, because the ending stuff is like, oh, we're finally getting shit wrapped up, or like, oh my god, questions are being answered, things are happening.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how I would describe Gav right now. Things are certainly happening.
Yeah, but we'll get to that after we first talk about Gav. I'm sorry, not. Oh my god, why did I say? Oh my god, it's already on my mind because of how much I
Gozuger,
wanted.
episode 5. Let's just get right into it. Oh my god, Gozu Unicorn is so funny.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people were saying it, and it is true. I mean, and of course, like me being half Filipino, me being Filipino, her like her actions being half Filipino, like there's an old TikTok, I think it was, where it's like when God made Filipinos, and it's like saying, oh yeah, they're gonna be great at dancing. It's like, oh, that means they're gonna be bad at singing. No, they're amazing. Okay, so we're gonna make them ugly. No, they are beautiful. Then I'm gonna make them a little short. What was that?
Dude,
It's one of my favorites, but
it
like
has been fun, because I have been seeing a lot of people being very excited about her being Filipino. It's
mhm.
always good. It's always good to get more people.
Yeah,
I
and like this one, like someone was saying, like if she doesn't get like a modeling contract after this show, like they are missing out because she is gorgeous in this episode. And I mean, sure,
I think
she
I think
yeah.
she's wasn't she already? I think I saw people talking about she was already like a gravure, or like she already had done like some gravure work before this.
I don't know. I never looked into it.
Here's the thing. I saw some things about it, because I saw people basically being like, "Oh no, she's done like gravure work like before doing Sentai, so people are gonna be weird about it."
I mean, people. I mean,
Here's the thing.
it
People are
basically
gonna
it
be
basically just
weird
means that
about it.
it basically means that people might turn into a no one, just like what happens in this episode.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, uh, I do
Which is
love the
a
bit.
plot point.
I love that she has like the double date basically, and I love that she's using her ability to like read people to find out stuff about her case.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, like it's she is like we've already seen her, like 2 episodes ago when she was with Toru, like it's like she's already like kind of sneaky in some way, but like this episode she is like just like
I would definitely say like two-faced
yeah,
fake.
definitely.
And to be fair,
Mhm.
I love her for it. She was great, and I really like her chemistry in this group. Uh, I'll complain about us not having at least a second girl still. I still think
Yeah.
that sucks. I'm glad that the girl we got is good. Like I like her. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'll say the same thing for. It feels like a lot of the times they have a hard time, I would say, trying to make the girl like as insane as the guys. And so I appreciate that she's also insane in like her own unique bit.
Yup, she
Uh,
definitely is.
I love
uh
her starting off already trying to engage. I love her talking to Tokonatsu, which that's going to be a whole other thing. And he just gives her the Ryusoul ring.
mhm.
So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. She's got the ring. She's trying to figure it out. She's hunting like clues by literally like trying to like entrap men during
Yeah.
dates.
Yeah, it's clever. It's like, yeah, like she basically like invites the two on like a double date. Basically reads their mind. Like honestly, like the fact that like without explaining her power until like late in the episode, we basically just see that she's able to read. She's basically able to read a mind immediately, so she could just like say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna use the bathroom," and then just dips.
It is so
Yeah.
it's I mean it's funny. It's Man, I the only thing that I was like oof rip was like, guys, if you show up to meet up with a girl and there's another guy that she's also going on a date with, just go home. Don't be
Yeah.
that stupid. Doesn't matter how pretty, just go home, guys. Don't... And I did love, like you were talking about her using her power, where she just like touches him. And he's like, I wonder if I can get any alone time with her. She just looks at him. That's not happening. Anyway, I'm going
Yeah.
to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's like it was like it's a clever way, and like we know, like it's like that's just her using her power, and like they explained, like the powers for everyone, like
It's actually
earlier,
funny.
but yeah.
They technically hadn't explained Kijino's, but we got to see it at the end of this episode too. Or
Yeah.
Kinjino's. So now I think we do have officially everyone's power.
Hmm.
What was Blue's power? I don't remember.
Oh, his was hearing.
Oh, hearing.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
he was the one that explained to us the concept of them having the powers because of the
No,
rings.
right.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember because it's not as obvious, and they didn't. We've seen Toru sniffing around a lot,
Yeah, it's really funny when
and
that
I
happens.
still can't get the image of Tyranno just fucking holding the Tegasword hand like with his bare hands.
Yeah,
So
like also, I mean, like we're gonna be talking about gonna talk about a little bit about previous episodes, but like the behind the scenes, like the way that they green screened Ryuga holding the piano was so cool. Like they actually just filmed it in two different places with a green screen in two different spots. Like it was clever. I liked
oh,
it.
that's cool. I didn't see any of the behind the scenes stuff. That's always
Oh
really
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I'm always a big fan. I do love like how they composite things to make it look the way it is.
Hmm.
Real cool vibes.
Yeah. Oh
But
man.
the big thing about this, she goes back to the cafe. She's like, "I'm here to join your social club." And I'm like, she's not joining. Absolutely not. Or if she is, it's not till something else happens. It's like there's no way.
Mhm.
Uh and I love the setup for this no one. Or like not the setup, but I love this like beginning fight where everyone just gets bodied.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like what, we're gonna medal. Yeah. Here's an inconvenient autograph. It's like, oh well, no, that's just nice.
It's like what was his rule? Like if people are into it, then it's not really meddling.
Yeah, it's just a nice thing. And
It's just a
then
nice gesture.
yeah,
And then my favorite old man coming through with the I it hit me. He comes in the gaudiest outfit I've ever seen. He's screaming about how there's nothing more meddlesome than like a new age party with plenty of disco music. He puts down the like player and he pulls out the cassette tape. And the moment he presses open and I realize it's a CD player, I was like, "Old man, no!"
yeah, and it's really funny. Yeah,
That got me. It's such a dumb bit.
yeah, and it's really funny because as someone that collects vinyl records, him saying, "Wait, what? Wait, but cassettes are newer than vinyl records." I was laughing,
Yeah.
so hard.
It was good,
Yeah.
and the setup of like, hey, all of them but Red get bodied, and the moment Red's about to do something, she just like maces him, takes his ring, and then she just takes all the rings. Like, well, you guys suck. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously he goes off to chase her, and like sees like despite her like trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm such a bad bitch. I'm stealing your rings. Like he catches her like being like he catches her being so nice to this little kid.
And
And
I'm gonna be honest,
yeah.
I love that in the flashback and in the thing we see that like all her little band-aids have like "Be Strong" on them, like handwritten. It's very cute. It's a nice touch.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh man.
Also,
But then yeah.
Toru, why are you such a dumb fuck? Like she's just like, okay, here it is, and throws something, and he's like, my ring, and it's like, okay, but like that's just your ring. I would have just get the other rings back too, and then he gets there, and it's just something ring shaped, and it's just like, oh, you dumb.
Yeah. And then like he saves her, and it's like, why?
I love that bit because she gets cornered. We're going back to the same questions we got from the episode before, where she's like, why can't I engage?
Mhm.
Which also I do love that everyone just canonically calls it engage.
Mhm.
Uh, why can't I engage? And she's wondering because he tells her what she's saying. He's like, well, this and that, those are two separate things, you
Yeah,
know?
which is a callback to her saying the same thing. It's like why do you steal our rings? But like be kind to this one. Like which one are you really? It's like, well, that was that, and this is this. So
Yep.
basically throwing her own words back at him. Throwing her own words
And
back.
I really like that her own words work because she wasn't being truthful. She
Hmm.
wants revenge for her sister, but that's not her wish. Her wish is to like be a hero and to help people and to save people. And so once she like is honest with her wish, that's when she gets to engage. And then, we continue having really fucking fantastic fight choreography. We get the
Yep.
rings returned. We get the first of all, we get the fake out like, oh, she has to kill him, but she gives up on the hairband from her sister's case because we haven't even talked about that. Her sister was
Yeah.
kidnapped as a child, and there's
Hmm.
people who are maybe responsible still out there. That's the guy she was with because they testified for the trial. But she gets kicked out of the police. It was kind of insane seeing her like tackle that dude against the chain and be like, "Where is she?"
Hmm.
And then people coming by and being like, no, no, he has an alibi, it's not him. But also, I could imagine, like, if she loved her little sister that way, like, obviously, like, she's not gonna be very, like, in a good headspace to be chill about
Yeah.
it. That's why usually you're not allowed to, like, investigate your own family shit because, it's a conflict of interest. The
Yep.
same way that, like, doctors aren't supposed to, like, operate on their own family because, yeah, it's
Yep.
it's not good for you, especially if
Yeah.
things go wrong, because then that can ruin your life.
Yep.
Uh,
And yeah, and then but yeah, she's able to engage. She gets she actually gets the intro this she actually gets the fight intro this week,
oh, it's
which
fantastic.
yep. It's like I'm the one that meddles to help people, and it's like, but like I love number one meddler when people say no, they really mean yes. Like, oh my god, you really are just a meddler.
You're
But
the worst.
the
Yeah. Oh my god.
yeah, but
He
the
had a
way
good
that like
intro. I
Mhm.
love that she got an intro. Uh, I'm glad we're again. I think I told you the thing that I was worried after episode 2 was like, is it just going to be red all the time?
Yeah.
Because I want them to switch it up. And I love that we
Mhm.
went from episode 2 where it was red to episode where it was red but he lost.
Yeah.
And then we finally starting to get, okay, episode 4 we had green, now we're having black. I'm assuming we'll see the others have their intros later. I'm
Yeah.
still very
Like
curious on Mr. Tegasaur.
yeah, like yeah, he really hasn't had his own intro episode yet. But yeah, like like we actually get to see like a bit of the fight before the others get to join and get back to the rings. But like we actually get to explain the of her powers. Like yeah, okay, yeah, it's like just explain to us again that she's able to see the future and uses it to dodge that two-pronged attack, which would hit anyone else but her.
Yeah, she's able to not see the future, but she's able to see his thoughts. So she knows,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I'm about to do because he thinks about it before he does it, and then she dodges. I also am loving every time we see the finishers. The unicorn being like a drill through the dude
Mm-hmm.
was intense. Saving the guy, which they've done. I love how silly they're also making the random ass like little guys that are piloting the mechs. We had one who fucking hated dust this time, and Kijino made kind of short work out of him because I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest, he was kind of counted.
Yeah, and I mean, and the other thing about this one too is that like we didn't talk about it last week, but this one is actually based on Maji Ranger. Somehow I don't know exactly why, but yeah, like he was a reference to Maji Ranger, just like how last week was it Go 5 and forgot the other one, Goggle 5, I think. I can't remember, but
No
yeah, like
idea.
but yeah, like they were based on those ones, but yeah, Kinjiro just absolutely just counters.
Yeah, because he's got his super eyesight, and
Mhm.
oh my god, doing the finisher was great. That like ending scene where they're all talking, and she's like, I'm glad you've given up on revenge." She's like, "Nope, I haven't." But like someone said, like this is this, and this, and that is that.
Mhm. Yeah.
I love that because it's like, okay, I do want my revenge. It's important to me, but revenge is not my dream. It's not my wish.
Mhm.
Fantastic. And then the setup of, I know he's only got the only clue I got is that he's got silver eyes. Cutting immediately to the Leon doing like some fan photos from when he had silver eyes for like some idol thing.
Oh wait, did they say silver or like because at least my translation said gray.
Gray silver kind of mean the same thing in my head. I could just be remembering. But they cut to him having gray eyes, and they're all
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we loved when you had the gray eyes. We love that phase. That's why we still have a bunch of the old merchandise." And they go off, and I love the like her being like, "I'm not gonna give up" as he walks in like behind her, and it's like, again, I think it's most likely a red herring.
Yeah,
You know,
this feels like bait. Like I mean, that
it
could just be
feels
colored
like bait.
contacts.
It would be
Yeah.
crazy if it was real. It's kind of the same thing with like Chashira and Bunbunja, where it's like, I don't think that he would really be like this, but the fact that I'm thinking about it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very fun, very good vibes.
Yeah. Oh man. And next episode, yeah, it's really funny. It's like, are we getting a bigger episode for Don Momotaro before for this Don Momotaro before we actually get a Ryuga episode?
Maybe. Are you the prime minister or are you a terrorist? We're gonna have an insane Tonkatsu episode next week.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's gonna be crazy. Like there's we have silly little outfits. We have a team up and a fight against this episode. We're actually gonna see what is it, Miss Sweet and Mr. and Mrs. Sweet
It's like,
have their own giant form.
yep, and then we're gonna see what's going on because I think it was Hono was telling him like, "I'll make your dream come true," and I'm like, what is going on with Tonkatsu? I want to know.
Yeah, and after that we do see we do see. Oh, crap, I keep forgetting her. No, Bouquet with more Rikuo merch.
Which again, fantastic, a good bit that I really like.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man,
and
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I understand.
Yeah.
Here is the question though. I'm still basically one episode behind on Red Ranger Isekai. We're close to the end. Do you just want to wait and talk about it when it finishes?
Yeah, kind of, because after
because we're getting
week,
we're getting like a whole ramp up to stuff, and I already saw spoilers for what happened this week that I haven't watched yet. I'm kind of like, this is probably just like we wait for 2 weeks, I finish it up the season, and then we talk about it because
yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
But at the same time, I'm really hoping with what's ramping up in Gab, it does not overlap, because oh my god, this episode.
So as I've posted, friendship ended with Suga.
Suga.
Now Shoma is my true best friend. Man,
Suga was magnificent this episode.
He was fantastic. God. Oh my god, he is like this perfect level of like, it's like slightly detached, and he's just saying things so casually as if he's not talking about like really fucked up shit.
Yeah, like it's insane. Like, it is insane how good of a villain you must be. Like, if it's still just the middle of the season and people are comparing you to Evault. Of all people,
yeah,
people
honestly.
are comparing him to Evault.
And it's like a different vibe, but it's very much like at the core like, oh man, this guy's terrible.
Yeah. Just
first of all,
absolutely casual.
I love
with everything.
The start of this episode. I love him confronting him and just walking off, and Suga just kind of like letting him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I saw a really funny post from the very beginning where we see a Gochizo almost get trampled by the truck, and it was like, this is what happens when we don't have a Bunbunja safety tip.
I didn't see that.
I saw that tweet. I thought that was funny. But also, they just find fucking Hanto knocked out at the side of the road.
Yeah, I mean, not the first time that someone from Happy Pot has been found on the side of the road.
It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening.
Yeah,
and I do love them bringing him to Dente.
Yeah, it's great, and it's like oh yeah, this is my uncle. It's like we can't bring him back here. Like we have to bring it to Dente.
Yeah, because he was like, don't bring me to Suga or whatever. Like, don't do it. He's crazy. And we get, I don't know, man, so much of like the payoff or the little dumb character development stuff in this episode. I really like. I love Hanto waking up, seeing a Granite, and then being like, I'm Shoma's great uncle. I'm the one who saved you. And he's like angry, and then he's like, thanks for helping me, I guess. And then when he's talking about fighting, and he's like, I have to destroy all the Granites for... all the Shoma, or all the stomach company granules
Mm-hmm.
is the ones I have to destroy, and it's like little by little, my man.
Yeah. It's
And
it's it's so good. We also got probably like everyone like everyone's like saying, "Man, make her a writer already," because Sachika catching Chokehold, or was it Cookie or Chokehold? I can't remember which one it
it's
was.
chokehold.
Yeah.
It's the little Evo chokehold chocolate upgrade or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they put that little man in a jar. Rest in peace. Uh, but also, I fucking love that. I fucking love that they have to chase this man around. I love that like Chokehold is like a little hater. He doesn't talk to them. They put him
Mm-hmm.
on the phone and it doesn't give him any info. Uh, and all I could think of was like this guy doesn't have the little P Bandai scanner at the bottom for you to know what his toy does. Uh,
Oh man.
which I actually saw something about that. I saw something about how like apparently the Bake Magnum only has the thing for like bake.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a,
Yeah.
like a reader or something. I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, then someone said, "Oh yeah, it's almost like it's meant to just be used once until its user dies," and
Ah,
everyone's just like everyone's just like staring at it like, okay,
I
just
love
like staring at it.
Shoma. Yeah, I love Shoma going to meet up with Suga to find answers and basically getting captured. I love them
Yeah,
calling Lakia. I love the conversation between Dente and Lakia. I love that he's like, "It's me, Dente. You tried to kill me." He's like, "Oh yeah, you. Can you come over real quick?" I also, man, I really like this because it does confirm that he's not using Lakia's Vlam Blaster. Because I have been so scared of Lakia dying soon and the belt going to Hanto. I have not been wanting that.
yeah. Like all of us thought it was crash out era, but no, that's therapy era. That's what the bowl cut means.
The bowl cut is therapy. You have to remember that like a lot of us think like the bowl cut's kind of lame, like just because of like US style sensibilities or whatever.
Mhm.
But like in Japan, like the bowl cut, that's an upstanding young man. You know, that's a very well put together, usually kind little young man. Like think about the bowl cuts we have, even from like think about Gotcha. Like that's just a happy little dude. The next bowl cut I can think of off the top of my head is Mob from Mob Psycho. You know, like that's
Mhm.
a nice young gentleman. That's not a crash out. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, like, but at the same time, I think this basically makes well, yeah, like like you said, U.S. style system is, but yeah, no, that makes sense because we Kayla was literally crashing out, and that's why he just got all the drip. But Hanto was it's just
Hanto already
is
had a bit of drip, so he's kind of losing it a little bit. And
yeah,
here's the thing:
because he's
I don't think he's keeping the bowl cut. I think the bowl cut is just right now, like he's got like wet cat syndrome. We just splash some water on him, you know. Once he's dry, his hair will go back to normal.
yeah, but and talking about dry, I mean the fact that like
No,
I will still never not laugh at like say they got an actor who could cry on command, so
oh
they
my
just put
god,
him
dude.
through fucking
Oh my
everything.
god, the just like single tears rolling down his face multiple times this episode. Oh my
Yeah.
god. And crazy, insane. I love him. I can't wait to see like what he's in after Gav because I can't imagine people aren't trying to snatch him up after like seeing this before. Like some really sad drama is gonna have a lot of fun having him in the cast. But
Yeah. After
also
that, after
going
that,
back
people
with that,
also yeah.
I want to see if it happens. But we were talking about the crash out era, the hair. One of the things we talked about a little bit was like as his shit has gotten worse, his hair went from being really light brown to being really dark, almost black. I wonder if
Mhm.
we're gonna see his hair go back to being like a lighter shade of brown.
Yeah. And after that, like, and then we also saw, like, what is it, behind the scenes of this episode, like, the episodes, like, the part of the episode that was taking place in Dente's cave. Like, we saw behind the scenes pictures where they are so huggy with each other. It's so
They're so
funny.
cute, okay? I love them. They're
Like,
friends.
everyone loves
Everyone
Chocogummy
loves
so much.
Chokogami. Okay? I love Chokogami. That's what I'm here for.
Oh. Also, like, did you see that tweet too? Like, saying, "Oh yeah, hey, what was it? Hey, girlies, like, next time, you say something's for the lesbians, can you also include me in it?" So it's, yeah, it's for the lesbians and Lakia.
Oh yeah, they had him. I saw that one. I think one other random one is just on the whole like because of the whole bit of kind of like Sachika taking the role of like ordering Lakia around. I saw one. It's like I think I sent it to you. It's like Shoma just being like, "Hey Lakia, yeah, why does Sachika call you baby girl?"
How about we don't talk anymore? Yeah.
How about we don't talk about that?
Yeah, it's like how about we stay quiet for a while? Yeah. It's so funny.
It's so funny. I love the
Yeah.
dynamics of these like of this group as a whole.
Yeah. And
Such
I mean,
a
like
good bit.
yeah, and I mean because we're still talking about like, because we're recording this on a Wednesday. Thank you Toku Stats for the for another great Don Momotaro versus Moe graphic today.
Dude, they're first of all they're all crazy. I also love the man, it was from a couple days ago or like a maybe like a week ago or something, but the Haruka like driving stats. And it was like
Yeah.
the least deserved driver's license in all of Sentai.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, like it's literally us just talking about Don Brothers because like Don Brothers is just
Don
absolutely
Brothers is
insane.
permanently like it's gonna be permanently part of like my prefrontal cortex for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, that's just how we live now.
Yeah,
But
and I mean like just like he has made 3 separate graphics for Momo and
and
Momoe
Sonoe,
and
yeah,
Sonoi. Yeah,
it's
he's
it's
made
because
3
they're
separate graphics
good.
so far.
Okay, a lot of their stuff was kind of baked into the DNA of the show. Like people can deny it all they want, but like
also I love how the back-to-back days of 1v1, by the way,
oh
like
my god,
number of combatants in episode 27's a one-on-one duel between Momo and Sonoe,
what's like 27? Oh no, 17.
Oh no, yeah, and then 1v2, by the way, number of combatants in episode 32's 1-on-2 battle 10. It's
That's
so
that's
funny.
just how Don Brothers rolls. Going back to the things. Oh my god. First of all, I always find it funny that like whenever it's like, hey, let's meet at a location, he's like, hey, let's meet in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Just a funny, dumb thing that I'm like, oh yeah, that's my favorite location, the parking garage.
Yeah.
I was watching the last episode of like this current arc of like the Pokemon anime with a friend, and part of it basically takes place in like this big crater, kind of basically apart from all the other like verdant Greenland of the place that they're in or whatever. And I'm like, well, they're just in the Tokusatsu quarry, so don't destroy anything.
Yeah.
That's why they're here.
Yeah. God,
But
I love the Tokusatsu queries so
the
much.
parking garage fight, oh my god, the intensity of it all. Hanto having to run anyway, even though he doesn't even, because I don't even think they were able to give him a regular Choco, so he doesn't even really have anything to transform with. He just shows up anyway. The Shoma being like kicked out, basically being like, "Hey, transform! I need to show him what the upgrade's gonna do."
Yeah. Also talking about transformations and these busters. The fact, I mean, we forgot, we glossed over because we went on that tangent. But like Dete saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, Nielv made it. I could do it. I could do it with a box of scraps."
Oh yeah, he's making it in a cave with the thing. It's very funny. And I mean, to be fair, again, Nielv made it only using Usuga's research, and all of Nielv's shit is based on Dente's original research. So kind of makes sense. But no, the setup to that transformation, first of all, the like his just threatening aura, his what was that you say again? Oh yeah, Henshin. Like, the disrespect to the Henshin.
Exactly. It's like I saw someone post about that too. Like it's like, kind of like in Kamen Rider, like, Henshin just basically feels very like almost sacred to us now. Like
It's like yeah, it's sacred. But it's like tradition, you know?
Yeah, like actually tradition is the better way of putting it. Like we're so used to it that we didn't feel the disrespect until we saw this.
Honestly. Because you know what I mean? There's transformations that don't use Henshin, but they have their own thing, and you're like, okay, well that's not a writer because they didn't use Henshin kind of bit, you know?
Yeah,
but like
shout outs to Iron Eyes.
Iron Eyes, I really loved from the beginning of build Mismatch.
Oh, dude, Mismatch is so good.
Mismatch was really good in my opinion, especially just because of the whole theming of the bottles and the best match stuff. Oof. But the like disrespect to like what was it again? Henshin. Also, I love
he came up with that. Apparently the actor came up with that. Like,
that's such a good ad lib too. Like that really sells Suga as like this guy who does not give a shit. And first of all, I really like the transformation. The fucking baking sheet coming out like,
Mhm.
and then the cookie crumble is just like on top of him is literally baked on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, we see the heating element and all that stuff. It's
And
just
then, you know, we basically get into the like rest in peace Shoma hour. He just gets his ass beat. Again,
yeah.
fantastic sequence. I love some of the bits where he's just like sitting on like beams and stuff and being like, "Come on, buddy, like you're supposed to fight back better than this. How am I supposed to prove the efficacy of my product if you're not doing well?"
Yeah,
And it's
like
like, dude's on the ground dying, man.
yeah, like he just absolutely just casually just what's the term people use? Dog walking? Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely dog walks Shoma in this. And it sucks because we know Shoma has had like the mental block. He's not doing well. Hanto can't transform. Everything sucks. And at the very end, they manage to escape. But it's like, rest in peace, boys.
Yeah, yeah, but talking about how fucked up Suga is this episode. It's like oh yeah, I couldn't have come up with this without sacrifices or just test subjects. Like and then Hato just like actually does have like just has the breakdown, the full on breakdown this time around.
Especially
Like
because,
used him as
he's like, sometimes, everyone's important, even the bait. And then he gets the like, oh my god, my mentor was just bait for me, for this guy to get his hands on me, and he did it.
yeah
Also, oh my god, I do love Hanto's face when Suga walks out and he's like, wait, you need to like have a granite organ to transform. And he's like, oh yeah, after I did it on you, I was able to do a lot of like safety research basically. It's a lot safer and a lot less painful now. Thanks, Hanto. And he just looks
yeah
like, oh, I was just a toy to you.
yeah. It's absolutely. Oh, and him just saying, "Oh, I didn't expect you to be this shocked." Like
Yeah.
like it is no wonder that people are comparing him to Evil. And also, as people have said, we're on episode 27. It feels like episode 38. Like
It feels
this
like it feels like it could be getting into the 40s just for like the vibes with him as a bad guy. And it
yeah.
it feels so bad. Like at the beginning of the episode where we first see the little bitter gabs and they're like, "All right, dad, are you proud?" And he's like, "Don't call me your dad."
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, master. And like, oh man, this like recontextualizes the bitter gabs as little kids to me. Like they're just little guys. They don't know better.
Yeah. Like if anything, they're kind of like a well, they may as well be Suga's Gochizo. His
Yeah.
minions.
Yep.
Like
And
yeah, like
okay,
oh
I
my
saw
god.
some stuff talking about or talking from the like thing because we see that whatever the fuck K is, his ultimate life form or whatever, right?
Mhm.
When he's playing music, he's playing like lullabies to it.
Yeah, it
So I wonder if he's like trying to keep it asleep or something.
mhm.
Uh but also just I worry about whatever the fuck K is, considering it's made with like Hanto and like the bitter gav DNA or whatever. Uh
Yeah. And
again,
all and
that's probably gonna be something worse than whatever the fuck Suga is.
and talk about whatever Suga is like, and apparently he's been doing this for decades and decades. Because it's like, oh man, I guess the transformation does take a toll. Like even to his own like
Body, yeah,
like
his arm just
drawbacks.
kind of
He's
like
like,
burns the fuck off, and he's like,
yeah, and
"Well,
he's like,
someone younger should be doing this."
yeah,
Anto.
yeah.
Uh,
It's
I
so
also
fucked
do
up.
love that Bake is like a chocolate chip cookie because, Hanto has like that like stuff with chocolate where like chocolate is his theme, so that's what works with him
Mhm.
best.
Yeah,
Uh, man, but setting up all this stuff, he just is terrible. We were talking about it, but like, good thing there's like a couple who would be willing to adopt some Shoma lookalikes later on.
yeah,
Where
and
it's like, oh man, I hope
yeah.
that would be such a cute ending. I don't have the heart in it to like hope for that yet.
Yeah. Also, let's and after that, I guess we could just talk about the episode preview now, where we see what is going on. Like, no one looks happy. Like Lucky, it looks like he's breaking into a nursery. Like,
Which he
is
kind of
that the
might
basic?
be.
Yeah.
Breaking into like the bitter gav nursery. I do love that he just is like showing up. I'm gonna burn this down, and we're gonna see the frappe,
Mhm.
frappe custom, The suit looks really good, so I can't wait to see its having power. I want to see it fight together with Sorbet. Like, I love when they have matching power-ups, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool when they have, like, separate kinds of power-ups, but I like it when they're matching. Which, again, like, your guys are getting power-ups at this point. Where's Sachika's suit?
Yeah.
Part of me, the other part that scares me is I was telling you that, like, well, I'm glad Lakia didn't die so that Hanto could have a belt. And I'm like, all right, Lakia, I need you to not die so that Sachika can have a belt. Please don't die so that Sachika can have a belt, okay?
Oh, man.
Well, next week's episode looks like it's going to be insane. And we'll be here to talk about it.
Yep.
As always, thanks so much for listening, and we will see you later.
Later.
This program is brought to you by
Our unending love of tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
you can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.